Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name is Jamie Theodosi, and I'm bringing you another interview today. Today, I had the pleasure of being joined by PFL's newest signing, Louie Sutherland. Me and the heavyweight spoke about his upcoming debut on PFL 9 in August against Abraham Babley of Manchester Top Team. We also spoke about the incredible announcement yesterday of PFL's new European League. So yeah, we spoke about that, what implications his fight with Abraham might have for that league. And we also had a bit of fun towards the end, so stay tuned. So yeah, I'm here joined by the Vanilla Gorilla, Louie Sutherland. Thanks for joining me, Louie. How's it going?
All good. Thanks yourself.
Yeah, not bad. Thanks for asking. Just to begin, mate, well, we want to talk to you about that nickname and where did that come from?
That's a funny one. Probably in terms of obviously everyone's nickname, it always comes from someone in the gym or your friends or whatever. Um, I was an amateur at the time. I was at the gym and I was doing a bit of wrestling and someone went to me, "Man, you're like a gorilla," and I was like, "Oh, I guess that's a compliment. I'll take it as one." And then he took a second look. He went, "You're like a vanilla gorilla," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take that." And it's stuck, to be fair. So ever since then, it's been the Vanilla Gorilla. And I always thought rather than giving yourself a nickname and whatnot, it's always better coming from someone else. So yeah, that was a guy called Elliot I used to train with a few years ago. So yeah, props to him really.
Yeah, well, it's a class nickname, to be fair. So yeah, fair play to him. Yeah, so it's fair to say your rise to a top promotion has come quite soon in your career. Obviously, you only started pro last year. How did this offer come about with PFL?
So basically, as you obviously know, I had a good few fights, a couple of fights. I turned pro last year, and again, like everyone else after lockdown, was just trying to get through and fight as much as possible because we didn't know what was going to happen. So I was trying to get as many fights in as possible. Had a few wins and so forth, and then a few other promotions come knocking. And then obviously they sort of fell through, couldn't find matches. And then Ashley Grimshaw from Great British Top Team gave me a call and was like, "Look, how would you like to appear on PFL? They like the look of you, they like the style. The style suits, the promotion and so forth." And yeah, I'm grabbing it with both hands, to be fair. So that's sort of how it's come about. As you said, it's quite quick, but I'm someone that obviously, I want to go full steam ahead. I don't want to sort of, tiptoe around and do things like that. And I'm, just want to go for it really. So with both hands. So that's how the opportunity come about. And I spoke to the guys at PFL, and they were saying, "Look, we'd love to have you on board." Again, the style matches, the setup, and yeah. So I signed, and here I am. So
Yeah, well, I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
that style does for sure match the setup because obviously four knockouts in a row for yourself, and obviously the PFL you get awarded for those knockouts and especially the early
That's
on
right.
the knockouts. And like we just spoke about, you'll be making your debut at PFL 9 in London, and that'll be against Abraham Babley of Manchester Top Team.
Yeah.
You are the more experienced of the two because he's only had one professional fight. Do you think that experience might help you on in that fight at all?
Look, ring time and experience is, you can't buy that, to be fair. In terms of my experience, I might have made the walk a few more times than him as a professional. But then again, I've only had one amateur fight. I don't know how many amateur fights he's had, but I'm pretty sure it's more than one.
Yeah.
So, in terms of obviously experience, yeah, it will count for something. At the end of the day, I've only had, I think the max I've been in the ring is probably, or the cage, or whatever you want to call it, is no more than 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
my ring time isn't exactly, at the top end, but at the
No.
end of the day, it's a fight, and would experience count for more? I guess we'll see on the night.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we will. But does it become kind of a bit more difficult to prepare for a guy that's only had one professional fight and hasn't got much tape out there to kind of analyze?
Um, I wouldn't say so. Again, it's nothing that I haven't come across before. So I don't know if you've seen any of my other knockouts and stuff, but the guy I fought set my second professional fight. There was only a little bit of footage on him,
Yeah.
and there was hardly any footage. And he was a European IMF champ, but there was hardly any footage on him. So it was just all hearsay and so forth. And it's quite similar with Babley. He's not going to have much footage out there. And again, I think that's the same for me. Likewise on his part, you can look at my fights, but if a fight's only lasting 1.5, 2 minutes, I mean, there's not much you can actually take from that, as the fight doesn't really get started until probably after the first round. So
Yeah.
it can work. It can work for or against. And at the end of the day, I'm focused on him. Whatever footage is out there, and I'm not one that's massive. I'm not massive on footage. I don't go that we need to really look at this guy and so forth. I've got a game plan, and again, it's a fight, and that's what I'm there to do is to fight. So
yeah.
And
like we've just said as well, the PFL is growing as one of the best promotions in the sport, and it's fastly becoming people's favourites because obviously the league format is extremely unique, and the incentives along the way. What is your opinion on the current format and the incentives? Is that another reason that made you really want to jump at this opportunity?
Yeah, most definitely. Just speaking to the guys that are already with the PFL, the guys that I have already spoken to. For one, I know that they really try and look after the fighters, and they're really push into whether it's pay, whether it's the format and so forth. And I understand the format's pretty hard as well, especially if you're in the regular season. You're fighting a good few times in a short space of time, so it's really intense. But again, I think it suits my style. At the end of the day, if you're being rewarded for knocking people out or finishing people quickly and so forth, then I'm all for that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and I think it's a great match, to be fair. So I think the PFL are doing a great job. They're expanding massively, with various different investors on board, and they're really pushing the European side now. So yeah, it's a great opportunity, and like I said, I'm going to grab it with both hands.
I mean, yeah, you've just mentioned they're pushing the European side of it. Can you just talk to us a bit about that announcement of the European League, obviously, and it's currently being labelled as the £1 million, the $1 million journey. With the win on August the 20th, have you been told you'll be joining the main roster or the European League?
Not exactly. So I've had a few conversations with the PFL and the guys at PFL, and they're really keen to obviously have me on in the regular season. And obviously I've made it aware that I want to be in the regular season. So I've made that well clear from the start. At the end of the day, I'm 4-0 at the moment. And whether that's, they want to, look at the European tournament first, and then obviously the regular season after that, I'm not too sure. All I know is that obviously I've got to put on a performance, put on a show on the 20th, and then they'll have no option but to put me into the league, or I'll be pushing for the league and the spot, because I feel that my style is quite exciting and that people do want to watch me. And I have quite a decent following at the moment, in terms of in London and so forth. So I do think that they definitely want me on the regular season sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And are there any matchups in that regular season roster that you like the look of, or have you not really looked that far into it yet?
I have looked into it, in terms of, I do watch the PFL. I watch the regular season. I've got teammates that are in the regular season. I've got teammates that fight on the exhibition. So at the end of the day, I fancy myself against any heavyweight in the world, in Europe, wherever you want to, US, I fancy myself against any of them. So, whoever, if I do, or when I do get into the regular season, whoever they put me in front, put in front of me, I'm going to look to take out anyway. So, it could be anyone.
Yeah. So how good does it feel to be making that debut in London?
Oh, it's amazing. When I actually first signed, I told a few close friends and so forth, and they were like, "How are we going to come and see you? You're going to be fighting in the States and so forth." And obviously, when they announced they were coming to the UK, I obviously had the conversation with them, and I was like, "Look, I know you're fighting in Cardiff as well, but get me on the London card, and I'm going to bring a decent crowd there." And I've already got a little bit of a buzz going on at the moment with people from the area and,
Yeah.
on the outskirts of London and so forth, and, just family and friend, and, network is quite big. So it's going to be amazing to have it on home soil, have my people behind me. I'm sure they're going to make a lot of noise in the arena, as they always do. If you ask anyone on the national circuit, when I've, fought in, Barnsley, for example, from London, that's a long way away. I took a busload of people up to Barnsley and had them support me for my debut. So I can't wait to obviously do it in front of my crowd and put on a show. Really, I know they're excited, and obviously I'm just as excited as well. So it's going to be fantastic.
There is a couple of obviously British fighters in the PFL at the moment. You've got the likes of Brendan Knocknane, Stevie Ray, Simeon Powell, who's recently joined. How good does it kind of feel to follow on from their footsteps and like see what they've done? And does that kind of make it even better for you to see that they've done that, they've came over and they've started that push? Does that kind of make it easier for you?
Not so much as easier, but I know the likes of Brendan and Stevie, they're paving the way, or have paved the way for the likes of Simeon Powell, myself, and also you've got the likes of Stuart Austin, who's a teammate of mine who fights in the regular season. These guys have been involved in MMA for a long, long time, and they're household names in the UK. And obviously, they're paving the way for the likes of myself, Simeon Powell, and the other British fighters, and Scottish fighters, Irish fighters, English fighters, however you want to put it, Welsh fighters. I don't think it makes the pathway easier in terms of, it's easier for me now to just jump on.
No.
If anything, it's more pressure because these guys, these guys are really good, the likes of Brendan and so forth. These guys are great. So the likes of Simeon Powell and myself and the other boys that are coming through, we have to obviously carry the flag and make sure that, we're not underestimated on the world scene and so forth. And I think, we're slowly doing that at the moment. If you see Simeon Powell, he's a teammate of mine. He went out to the States on, I think, 10 days notice, 5 days notice, and put an experienced MMA fighter away in the third round. So, I just obviously need to carry that on. It doesn't make it easier. If anything, it makes it slightly harder because, again, we need to, I myself need to, my focus is on it. And if we're carrying the torch, I don't want to, I'm not going to be the one that's going to drop the torch, kind of thing.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then just some questions now to kind of inject a bit of fun into it. Just answer them as you hear them.
Yeah.
They're gonna. Some of them are a bit silly and a bit stupid, but just go with it. So
That's
the
all right.
first one is, if you could
change.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll go
exactly. Yeah. If you could change or add one rule in MMA, what would it be?
Say that again. Sorry.
If you could change or add one rule in MMA, what would it be?
If I could change one rule in MMA, what would it be?
Or add. You can add one.
Or add.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that.
I think a popular one is the 12 to 6 elbow. A lot of people would change that because it's obviously
12 to 6 elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely change that one for sure. I was going to say something a little bit not out of line, but I was thinking of maybe headbutts or something. But that's bringing back like pride rules and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. I mean, go if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to obviously cause a stir, but something like that just, something like that would really get me going. So
if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, but it gave the perfect nutrients, what would it be? So you don't have to worry about it being crappy food or if it's unhealthy. It gives the perfect nutrients.
I'm gonna go for like a chicken burger and a load of fries.
Nice.
Something nice and
I like that.
Makes you happy. Yeah.
If you could make the perfect fighter using attributes from fighters past and present, using attributes of striking, grappling, and heart, who would you use for each of them?
That's a nice one. Is it like limb by limb or however I want to go for it?
However you want to go for it, man. So you can use striking as just one fighter, grappling as one fighter, and then heart/chin as another fighter.
Okay. I'm gonna go for what I like rather than you know, what I feel is,
Yeah.
stylistically and so forth that I love. I would say definitely Conor McGregor in terms of his style, in terms of striking, to be fair.
Yeah.
Grappling, again, probably the man in the back there, the two men in the back. So we've got
Yeah.
Conor McGregor and Habib.
Yeah.
I know to put those two in the same sentence is a little bit tricky, but yeah, that's Conor's striking is the cartwheel kicks and things like that is I find fantastic, and his fight IQ
Yeah.
I think is so underrated as well. His IQ's really good. Habib's just a dog when it comes to the wrestling, and heart. I'm gonna go with someone a bit old school. I'm gonna go with someone Forrest Griffin.
Yeah. Okay.
Old school. I'm
I
gonna go
like it.
Forrest Griffin. From when I was a kid, growing up watching UFC way back then, it was always Forrest Griffin's. I don't know how he's still in the fight. And his face is all bloodied, and he's still going, and he's still finding a way to win. And yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
Forrest Griffin for heart. Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to see Forrest Griffin still involved in it as well. Obviously, he's with the Performance Center in Vegas. He's got like a
That's right.
heavy
Yeah.
involvement, and it's good to see that. But yeah,
No, definitely. Yeah, I think he's obviously that kind of era is a great era, like the likes of BJ Penn,
yeah,
GSP, Chuck Liddell, Forrest Griffin. Yeah, all those guys are household names, and those are the guys that I started watching when I was growing up. So yeah, it's good to see them still involved in the sport and so
definitely.
forth.
But yeah,
That's
the
cool,
the
man.
next question is: if you were stranded on a desert island, who is one fighter you'd pick to be stranded with?
No worries.
Have I cut out again? Hello?
Yeah, you cut out. Yeah.
I cut out. So yeah, the next one is: if you were stranded on a desert island, who is one fighter you would pick to be stranded with?
That one would definitely have to be John Jones.
Yeah,
I think obviously you've seen in recent times him out in Las Vegas with his dog and his
yeah,
guns and whatnot. He looks like a bit of a hunter-gatherer. He looks like my type of guy. So I think
yeah.
me and John Jones are, we'd rather survive, we'd thrive on the island or we're getting off the island. I know that for sure. So
Or you
I'd
get
say
some
John
great
Jones.
training in. You could get some great
Yeah,
training
exactly
as
that.
well.
Or yeah, I'll learn a few things and,
Yeah,
either
definitely.
way, it'd be a good experience. So
Yeah.
I think John Jones is the one for me. Yeah.
And then this last question is a bit of a rogue one. I've added this in. It's a bit, I don't know. What is the biggest animal you think you could take out in hand-to-hand combat? If you had no weapons, you just had to take the animal out.
I don't know. Me being a vanilla gorilla, I'd have to say a silverback.
Oof.
I'd have to just go for it.
Yeah, I like it.
I
I like
reckon
the
I
sound of
fancy
that.
my chances.
Yeah,
Against a teenage silverback.
yeah.
Why not?
I mean, that's a great
I'll go
answer.
for
For
it.
the vanilla gorilla versus a silverback gorilla.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll give it all I can and I'll try and bite some chunks out of it on the way.
yeah. Well, any rule stands. So it's
That's it. There you go. There's no
yeah,
rules there. So yeah, I'll be using the 12-6 elbows and using my teeth for sure.
and some headbutts with your when you added
And
rules.
some headbutts
Yeah,
as well. Yeah, if you want to add that in.
yeah. But yeah,
By
if
any
there's
means necessary. That's it.
yeah, 100%, man, 100%.
Yeah.
If there's anything else you want to add, man, go ahead. Floor's yours.
No, obviously, in terms of adding, look, if anyone's wants to come down on the 20th of August, the link's in my bio on Instagram. Hit me up there. There's a discount code as well. Let's get behind these UK fighters. The likes of Stevie Ray, Brendan, Simeon Powell, myself, Stuart Austin, and a few others. I know there's a few others that have been signed. I'm not too aware of who they are, but yeah, let's get behind them all. Let's make this, make it big, and let's show the likes of the American promotions that just how we do it in the UK.
Yeah, 100%, man.
I think just
yeah,
get behind us.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hopefully the fans do turn out for that one. Obviously, it's the first. Well, it will be the second event that the PFL will do in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we see. I might see you there. I can get some
that'd be
questions,
nice.
get some more questions in. And hopefully we see you get your hand raised.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You'll ask me some questions once I'm the winner. So yeah, it'd be even better. I'll have an even bigger smile on my face.
Exactly. So, yeah.
100%.
Well, yeah, best of luck, man. We look forward to it. So thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it.
No worries. No, thanks for your time as well. And I appreciate you reaching out as well. And I love what you're doing on the show as well. I followed you for a little while now as well. So yeah, man, keep at it, and you know, thanks a lot for reaching out.
I
And I guess
appreciate the
I'll see you
kind
soon.
words, man. Yeah, appreciate the kind words.
No
Nice to
worries.
speak to you, man. Have a
All
good
right, and
day.
you, man. Take care.
Catch
Yeah.
you later, bro.
See you later.